can you explain, someone of you can just explain one what all the recipes and ingredients? Yes.
These are sprouts. And
Just take and show.
these are all sprouts what we have made. We presented it with baskets of coconut leaves. We made it there. And these are salads, different types of salads.
Okay.
And this is carving. We have made this,
Okay.
the emblem of yoga.
Okay.
So we are trying to actually give awareness of naturopathy here.
Okay.
This is known as a tree. We have made this as a tree because all the ignorances, all things like what we are not following nature, when we violate the nature, these are the roots. So when we violate the nature, this gives you a disorder and they come up in form of symptoms and diseases.
Oh, and what all the roots?
Roots are ignorance and foods which we are eating which are not naturally, not following the nature, not sleeping properly, and all those things come under unnatural form. I mean, violation of nature. So because of violation of nature, this develops into a tree, and then these are the symptoms and they form a disorder. And then these disorders can be reversed if you follow nature cure and food and sattvic food. That means all these simple foods if you follow, you can reverse the dangerous diseases like diabetes, cancer, heart diseases, and PCODs, and almost all the diseases. Nowadays we have what is known as insulin resistance. So you can, when there is insulin resistance, you have many diseases. So you can reverse it by making an insulin sensitive body, by doing what is known as fasting, and by applying castor oil packs, by giving the enemas which are known as coffee enemas, and then these are the things, and giving foods which are alkaline foods. Most of the time we are fallen sick because of the acidic foods. So when we give alkaline foods, a person can become good. Like not only our gut is responsible for our mood, but also for overall health. So you have to eat 80% of alkaline foods and 20% of acidic foods. But then these are all poisons. When we are saying wheat is a poison, we are saying sugar is a poison. We are saying milk, refined oils are a poison, refined grains are poison, and refined salts are poison. So instead of refined salts, we can take salts which are known as rock salt and sea salt and so on. And in place of refined grains, you can take what is known as millets. So millets are very oldest form of food which has been consumed by all parts of the world. And then you can take, instead of refined oils, you can take cold pressed oils, you can take ghee, you can take all sort of fatty substances and like coconut oil, white butter, and so on. And then in place of wheat, you have to take millets, because wheat has two things which is responsible for causing your disease. What happens in wheat is, one is gluten, and the other substances in the wheat is known as an enzyme which mimics like sugar, and this is more dangerous than sugar. So this is the one which is causing us what is known as insulin resistance, and insulin resistance it gives you many diseases, having a big belly, and you become fat because of this meat. So all these things are supposed to be poisons, and you have to eat this, you have to follow this. And in place of milk, you can take milk which can be extracted from coconut, you can extract it from the peanuts, you can extract it from the badam, kaju, and so on. But actual milk what we are taking is a poison. So all these things are poisons which you don't have to consume, and if you consume these foods, then there is no need for any doctor, there is no need for any sort of surgery. You can reverse almost all the diseases, right from diabetes to almost all the diseases.
So only vegan milks we have to take.
Yes.
Not non-veg. Not
according
animal.
To the researches, according to the latest researches, we are supposed to take more of fats. Like we have to take about 30% of fats, 30% of proteins and carbohydrates. But according to the latest researches, what we have gone through, the googling and all, we have come to know that you can also consume the fats which are unsaturated as well as saturated, but then you have to consume in a limit.
How about that fasting?
This fasting is supposed to be a very old system where every religion has given us this type of things to fast for benefit of health. So in fast nowadays, if you have looked into, the intermittent fasting has become very famous nowadays, because in intermittent fasting you have a place where you eat food for a period of 5 to 6 hours, and the rest of the period, about 16 hours of period, is known as fasting. So for example, if you have been eating last meal, if you have taken at 5 o'clock in the evening, your next meal should be around 1 o'clock. So that is intermittent fasting.
Okay.
Not only that, other than this, we have also known as what is known as dry fasting, which is famous nowadays. In dry fasting, you don't drink water for more than about 12 to 13 hours, and you don't drink anything, and this increases what is known as your brain capacity. That means you improve your brain memory, you improve your growth hormone, you improve all the hormones which are beneficial for you, and that's how it goes, that fasting is supposed to be the elixir of life. Once you start fasting, your diseases vanish. This is how, if you come to Nature Cure and you follow the nature, you take this chromotherapy, that is, you take treatment from the light.
So where is your
water.
office? Where you are from?
We are from Guntakal. I am the principal of the Naturopathy, Sri Patanjali Maharishi Naturopathy Yoga and Medical College.
Okay.
These are my students.
Your students.
And we want to inspire them. That's the way I am very much here, more than sitting down there.
How many? Yes. How many years you are?
It's a 5.5 years course where you study anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, everything what we have to do it in an MBBS.
So how many students are there in your college?
We have every year intake is about 100, but unfortunately we get only 35 to 40.
Okay.
Still there is no awareness in our area.
But hope in coming generations are turning back to nature.
Yes.
So there is no other choice, and they have to come
And
back to
moreover,
nature.
one thing is very much remarkable in us, that we have a system known as iridology. That is, we diagnose the person's iris, and then we come to a conclusion which part of your body is affected. Whether that part is acute or chronic or destructive diseases can be seen with looking into the iris. We can locate the areas. It's like a map. It's a map. The whole part of your body is related into your iris, and looking into that, you can understand which part is having a disease. And through that, not only diagnosis, we can also prognose. It means to say that how the person is progressing with our treatments. So that's a wonderful thing which has still not come up, but there are many researches to come. But it's a very accurate, diagnosis.
Very nice, ma'am. Very nice to see you today, as your presentation was really good, and you have started from the beginning till the end, to explain the person everything, I can.
Well, I think I did not tell you about the coffee enemas. There's something known as coffee enemas. I don't know whether you have heard about it or not.
No, I have given.
You do it. We find coffee, there are so many people who are fascinated by the drinks and all. And then there's something known as coffee enema, where instead of water, we give the coffee, we boil the coffee seeds, and then we cool it down and give it through enema, and this has a wonderful effect on your liver. So most of the people are having what is known as fatty liver. Fatty liver is a disease. Your liver doesn't function properly, and that's known as fatty liver. And once you take this, coffee enemas, there is detoxification. Not only detoxification of the liver, but the liver also stimulates, and then it produces what is known as anti